I'm done here. All right. Green-black Delirium. Delirium is such a loaded term for duels. We haven't had the payoff we've needed for Delirium since the mechanic came out, and it was only in one set, so we're not going to get new Delirium cards, so why play Delirium now? And I guess it's all about matchups, right? The biggest problem for green-black recently was that you couldn't kill planeswalkers. What a huge pain in the butt that was for any kind of a good green-black control-ish deck, which Delirium certainly is. But now we've got Never, so that's something. That's up there. Other ways to deal with planeswalkers, Nissa Vital Force, make some hasty stuff. And with the Delirium angle, just some of the cards are really good at killing planeswalkers, like mindwrack Demon. You can put them in a squeeze. And gnarlwood Dryad is a good planeswalker pressure point. Walking Ballista is a good planeswalker pressure point. But as we discussed on a video I just made, we also want to be able to beat up dem zombies. So this is a mid-range deck. Anytime you're doing mid-range, you want to prey on the aggro decks in the format. Zombies and vehicles are those. So some of the adjustments here, we do have early game stuff that takes mana like Vessel and Grapple, but against either of those decks, it's very hard for them to win if we resolve an Ishkanah a few times. And making our deck smaller with Grapple and with Vessel is the best way to ensure that we have Ishkanah or a Kalitas to battle them with on the regular, because those mythic cards really do the work. Outside of that, we have other ways to keep them coming. Nissa gets things out of the graveyard, Lily gets things out of the graveyard, Grapple gets things out of the graveyard, and the new Lily, Death's Majesty, puts things in the graveyard and gets things out of the graveyard. So that's pretty darn sweet, and that can increase the consistency of the deck by making sure that you always have an Ishkanah resolving until it's exiled. That is. Sadness. Other things that are great to recur are Woodland, Bellower, Noxious Gearhulk are kind of our big hits. It's like a Reanimator deck that doesn't bother with 7 to 10 drops because we've got such awesome 6, 5, and you could count Kalitas in there, 4 drops. So we also buy our time with a lot of card advantage. We have Wreck Sage, which is awesome against vehicles. Not the best against zombies, but sometimes you just have to tag Liliana's Majesty, and they still run a Smuggler's Copter. We have Tireless Tracker, of course. Great card for the deck. Sylvan Advocate, of course. We still do Fatal Push. Revolt's not that hard to trigger with Vessel of Nascency hanging around and 4 Evolving Wilds, but we don't run Grasp of Darkness, which is a pretty interesting cut. The mana on it was pretty tough because every turn you really need to use your mana well, and running out of black mana was a problem on the regular for this deck. We just wouldn't be able to cast enough things. And we usually didn't have double black on turn 2. We usually had double black on turn 4. Guess what I want to do on turn 4 if I have double black against zombies? I want to Languish, and I want a Yahenni's Expertise. So the sweeper count is way up in this deck. For one thing, there's sorceries, which nothing else in the deck helps with the Delirium. But for the big number 2, those zombies gotta die. I mean, they go wide. So do red-white humans, so do Thopters, and in some cases, so do vehicles. If you're up against vehicles, you can have Wreck Sage for the vehicles, Fatal Push for their vehicles. That's the plan. And everything else just gets languished. It's pretty gross. Against Control, this is obviously a pretty dead card, which is very sad, but if we're planning on the aggro of the format being the popular thing that we have to beat, then the control of the format, you just don't play mid-range. Like, mid-range is bad against control naturally, so trying to fix that matchup, I think, is worse than trying to make sure that your aggro matchup is really good. So, I hope that is a nice walkthrough on this deck. Let's get ready to battle, but one other thing really quick is the lands. We want all the Evolving Wilds to trigger Revolt and to put a land in our graveyard so that our grapples have something to hit, while Foul Orchard, we don't want to run too many of those. Too many lands entering the battlefield tapped is sad. And the lack of Grasp of Darkness really makes it a little easier on our mana. We don't need double black until turn 3 for Liliana and Never, and 4 for Languish and such. All right, let's go battle. Hopefully, let's see what we get. We got a volunteer. Someone has volunteered as tribute for the Hunger Games. Avocado wants to do a battle, so let's see what he's got. Alright. I'm sending him a message. And we'll try to do a match. We'll try to play 3 games for you. See how it goes. See if we can get some insight into how this deck works. What this matchup is. Although I don't know what he's playing. He knows what I'm playing. He just watched my deck tech. Alright. We can... And slow. Slow but doable, I think. Better than the average 6-card hand. Of course, we get the free mulligan. Alright, Lumbering Falls right off the bat. Let's get on board with, you know, an enchantment that does nothing until I pump 2 more mana into it. That's just a hope that I draw an untapped basic off the top. If I don't, we'll just have double Vessel waiting for us later. And a Sylvan Advocate is here. Hopefully we find a Fatal Push in the next few cards. Be the most ideal. Alright, Languish can clean it up too. So I already see the road that we're traveling is going to be odd. We'll see if our opponent can hit those ramp spells, as this may be a green-blue ramp deck. Also, if we have counter spells in our future, could be a problem. Could be a problem. And there is a Rogue Refiner. Okay, our opponent going for the beats. They're on the beatdown plan right now. Hopefully we can hit an untapped green source. And Delirium. It's just so bad. Alright. Well, we do what we gotta do. Bit of a mess, but we can buy this time. We'll be okay. He's not killing us next turn. Simic something, that's for sure. Simic something. Aether Hub. Interesting. Up to 3 energy. Bracken for 5. We'll also really want to find a Gear Hulk or a Kalitas to get our life total rebuilt, as you kind of know when you keep this hand, you're going to be starting from behind. Oh my. Oh my. Well, we have an Oath of Liliana. But Languish isn't going to cover it. Gnarlwood can make it a little hard. We can grapple back the wilds. I wonder if that's the play versus cracking a vessel, since we plan to play this anyway. The vessel we'd much rather grab like some kind of a... We don't want to grab a land off it necessarily. We'd prefer to grab a planeswalker or something of that nature. So I think I'm going to take this route. Well, we hit a basic forest. Do we want to use that instead? Is there any reason? I don't see it. And we'll fetch more black. I'm just going to do it now. We'll see if our opponent has some bounce spell or something of annoyance. Yeah, that's annoyance. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're dead next turn? We're dead this turn? If he remembers to use it, right? Oh no, that's 13, yep. Alright, so our hand was way too slow. Good to know. And our opponent is playing a really funky Simic Energy deck that I've never cared too much about, and definitely don't think is good, but I'll try. Yeah, maybe we'll lose some games to it. It's probably... Let's try that again. I'm curious now. Got me curious. So, can't keep a hand that slow on the draw. Good to know. Vessels did not get there. Although I think that whole thing would have been different if we had an untapped green. Oh well. And we're on the draw again. Sometimes magic is mean. Can't keep that. I mean, I guess. Gotta draw a green source. Ooh, Oath of Nissa in that deck. Ugh. I mean, if it's all creatures and lands, I guess I'd still just rather have the land, I think. But whatever. Not my deck. Alright. That's not a green source. And no turn 2, so no Sylvan Advocate for you this time, huh? There we go, right on time. Tapped isn't great, but we'll deal. Hopefully he didn't audible to 5-color green. I did send him a message to play the same deck for all 3 games. And there's a Rogue Refiner. Perfect timing. Our opponent is on a mulligan to 6 and on the play, so this is definitely even more than normal. We just want to grind this out and get to ishkanah. Ishkanah, na 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 na. What to do with our turn? I definitely want to play Kalitas next turn, as I'm sure that blue-green will have a hard time dealing with that. So it's very tempting to grapple this turn. If I hit an untapped green source, I can play a gnarlwood. So yeah, I think that's the play. Of course not. Untapped green sources. Apparently I don't have them in my deck, is the conclusion I've drawn, but it's alright. It's all good. How is our delirium count after that? 5 types. Shiny. Ooh! Smuggles. Smuggles and Cubber. Okie dokie. Let's see what we draw. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. So I shall not play Kalitas this turn. I've got better plays. Alright. This could get savage. Thank you for your smuggler's copter. Nom. Now we'll see if our opponent... They're kind of without blue, so a bit of a bind there. Let's see if this Oath of Nissa can find a blue. As if he uses the Aether Hub for blue, his Long Tusk Cub can't get pumped. And if it can't get pumped, it can't get through the Rec Sage. So, there's the Bristling Hydra. There's Smuggler's Copter number 2. But not a good attack, although you may want to, right? If he attacks, maybe the Bristling Hydra has a better time getting in later. So, if I send the Rec Sage and he blocks, I can play a ballista and kill one of his creatures. And I think that's solid. I don't think Sage is going to get a better trade. And if I have that option, I'd rather do that than play Ishkanah this turn. So I will send the Rec Sage and see what he does. And of course, if he doesn't block it, I just play Ishkanah. And he doesn't activate the copter. And there's a hit. All right, thought that was likely to happen. So now we'll slam the grafwidow. And the odds of winning go up a lot when you play the grafwidow. A lot. It's probably the #1 reason to play the deck. The one of mythic spider. All right, Hydra's here. Do we have attacks? We could send the dryad. Right now, the dryad sort of holds back the Hydra. Of course, chumping it's not a big deal. I think what I'll do is take this turn to get tracker down, make some clues, and just build our advantage and not attack. No attacks this turn. And we'll just crack this now. But this is getting into that board stall where we're pretty happy to be. We're pretty happy about board stalling with Delirium. Nighthawk points out that we have to be ready for the Aetherwind Basker one-shot. I will keep that in mind as I'm building my board as wide as I can. And passing the turn from the other side. Not where you want to be. Draw me some cards. Good. Maybe we'll just get into Spider Drano mode. Make him make the move. I mean, we have good cards. We could play them. Like, if I play Kalitas and start attacking with gnarlwood, that's a problem. But spider damage is more. Plus, we've got a ballista. Yeah. I think if he doesn't change the board state, we can go Spider Drano and be happy. He's lacking a blue. Okay, there's a second blue mana. But yeah, he had a hub with 5 energy, I suppose. I don't know. The only thing that we've seen of his blue mana is we saw frickin' Rogue Refiner and Bounding Crisis. So we're not sure what all happens with that blue mana. Here comes something. Oh yeah, the Whirler Rogue. We did see that. We saw that off an Oath of Nissa. And so that can make things unblockable. That's a problem. So we'll have to kill that. But I have the means. Drain you. Land for turn. Ham ballista. Get the rogue out of there. Blossoming defense. Nope. Maybe he has 2 of them, but there we go. Way that goes. And just move right along. Continue board stall.deck. Now we've got plenty of good outlets for our mana. Here comes a Crassus. What do you tap? Taps down the Dryad. This all to get an attack in with the Hydra? So if I can find a removal spell, if I force him to use his energy right now, he won't have energy next turn for the Hydra. Is that worth it? Hydra with 5 can kill, what? Ishkanah? But if Ishkanah dies, that's fine, right? I find a way to get her back, and life is beautiful again. We can also kill Hydra. Well, he probably has High Spire Infusion, right? He probably has High Spire Infusion. So probably best to just chump. Rec Sage we like having in the graveyard. We can get that back later if we want to. Alright. What to do with our life? Start picking at his stuff? Keep draining him? Crack clues? Life is good. Life is good. I think the play here, let's get Kalitas onto the battlefield. He obviously is low on removal, so just having this out there will start getting us freebies along the line. And then I still don't need to attack. Just no need. All good. How about you? Nope. Okay, now I'll draw some cards. Could have done that one at a time. In case we had like a grapple to play, something of that nature. Good. Would have been smarter. All right, up to 9, going up to 10. So we'll keep it on those even numbers for the clues and the ballista. I guess in a stall, there's nothing wrong with just slamming ob, though. And we can win that way. That can be a fun way to win. There's a Gear Hulk. That's sweet. Fleetwheel Cruiser. Okay. Come on over. Crazy board states. It is one way to play Magic. All right, so I still think that the last card in his hand is a High Spire Infusion. So I could just put the Brood in front of it, right? Seems good. High Spire takes him to 8 and 6. I don't think he'll have anything to pump it further, so I'll just make sure that it's still 6 damage in there. And here's ishkanah Brood getting in front. And down goes the Queen Bee, but I'm sure we can find a way to get her back. And we get the zombie. Hey, bellower. Sweet. Push. Sweet. Alright. Plus. Sweet. Just all coming up CGB. Let's make some clues. More clues, more clues. He can get his Hydra to a 5/4, or he can get his Long Tusk Cub to a 4/4. So I think I'm just fine sending in the Tracker and the Advocate. See what he does. How do you handle being attacked? Probably just Thopter, but that's fine too. Just a little less advantage on his board. Away those go. Liliana. Pick down. Ishkanah. More spiders! And, yeah. There you go. There is a Harbinger of the Tides. Targeting... Yep. Anything I can do? Nope. That's fine. And another Bristling Hydra. Okay. Still, alright. Going ham. Interesting. So, let's pause and think. Seems like a suicide attack. Has to be a suicide attack. He doesn't have cards in hand, so I guess you'll eat the cub, you'll eat the Crassus, and the brood will eat the Hydra. I guess the gnarlwood can eat the Hydra. He's been thirsty for that Hydra for a long time. And end step, let's just shove you out a window. Get another zombie. So now we can just turn them all sideways. And we'll move on to game 3 after hitting the grind clock. Alright, we know that there's Whirler Rogue, there's Harbinger of the Tides, there's High Spire Infusion, there's Blossoming Defense. Probably not 4 High Spire Infusions, probably like 2, maybe 3. We didn't see any that game. So it might not be as common as we thought. Or, let's see. Bounding Krasis is surely a 3 of. Rogue Refiner surely a 3 of. Whirler Rogue's probably a 3 of. Smuggler's Copter, we saw both copies. Hydra's, of course, a 2 of. Blossoming Defense, I'm almost certain, is a 3 of. If you're running High Spire Infusion, probably gotta make room for all the Blossoming Defense first. I haven't seen any werewolves, no pacifists, no Duskwatch recruiters. So maybe there isn't much going on in the 2 spot for that deck. Maybe it's not as fast as the first game led us to believe. Hopefully we're on the play this time. Okay, we are. Justice is served. It'll be our first time on the play. And slow and steady, that's for show, but I think I will try it. I don't want to mulligan this on the play. We're almost certain to have 2 relevant spells, but on the play we're almost certain to cast 2 relevant spells. It'll be tough. I can't wait to see what our vessel offers us, because that will probably be a very big decision point in the game. Lumbering Falls are back. And land off the top, naturally. Why would it be anything else? In fact, I'm sure Vessel will be 4 lands. Or 3 lands and a grapple. That's what it'll be. Plunderer. Well, there's something we didn't see till now. Let's see what we find. Wow. I pretty much called that, didn't I? I mean, it's close, right? It's a spell I can't take, and of course it's the other of the rare in our hand. I mean, that's amazing, right? That's just amazing. That's stainless. That's the stainless shuffle in a nutshell. Wow. All right. And here comes Rogue Refiner. But what we do have is we've revealed that our opponent is almost removalless, and we do have Kalitas into Yahenni with 2 targets. So we haven't seen him remove anything other than Harbinger of the Tides. We've seen him tap it down with Crassus, so hopefully this works. I'll see you on YouTube, Thelona. Thanks for coming by. Thelona, a viewer in the chat, also has a YouTube channel. Check it out. Thelona. And Hydra. Why wouldn't we have Hydra? We've had Hydra every game. Why stop? Let's see if he wants to make a +1/+1 counter. Yeah, there you go. And then you can put your counter on it. There you go. Yeah, that's a good move. Now he can have his 6/5 Hydra with 3 energy in the tank. So, combo. We do have the Death Touch land. We'll take a little bit of a beating, though. So do we want to force him to use that energy? Because then he has no energy. We could force him to use that energy with the Never here. I don't like that. There might be something else to target with the Never. Oh, we can't use the Never off the Yahennis anyway. 7 converted mana cost. Of course, of course. Something I often forget. Throw that 6/5 at me. Do we block? I think we do. Let's get chumpy. Things are about to get chumpy, 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 chumpy. That's like me trying to do the intro to the cha-cha slide. Don't think too much. Interesting. Well, I can't have him trading with my kalitas. What if he has blossoming defense? Am I screwed? Interesting spot, right? All right, let's see what happens. No blossoming defense. Bounding Crassus? Can untap his 6/5. I can make mine a 5/6. Yeah, that doesn't work out, does it? All right. Can't do nothing. Yep, there it was. There it was. So if I attack there with my Kalitas, he plays Bounding Crassus, untaps his Bristling Hydra, pumps it once, and then it eats my Kalitas, is what I was worried about. Glad we sniffed that out. Now he might have Harbinger of the Tides to bounce Kalitas. Not the end of the world, though. And we might run that Gambit next time. Fleet Wheel Cruiser. So he's just going ham on damage right now. The mana open. Probably looking to blow me out somehow. So I think we'll just soak up as much damage as we can, although he didn't have the blossoming defense last turn. So am I supposed to eat the Crassus? I guess I'll try. Right? Take 11, go 5. Attack a zombie. No. I think we'll just do this. That's just fodder anyway if we get to the point where I can play Languish. And this lets Kalitas gain me back more life. So now we've got him tapped out. Let's figure out what we're going to do. It'd be great to draw Reclamation Sage. Gets a long tusk cub, so that's one of the cards in his hand. Alright. That's a decent draw here. We know it will hit. And then 4 mana leaves the Quagmire up. But we can't rely on that because of Bounding Crassus. And we know about the Fleetwheel Cruiser. Still, I think what is best is this. And get in there with kalitas. We have to keep taking hits from the cruiser, we just have to gain the life back. But this is a good game. I'm having a good time. This is well played, I think, from the side of the avocado. And the deck is a lot feistier than I expected. Alright, interesting. Let's see what you got. Blocks. Maybe he missed that one. Probably because I said he was playing well. Oh, and he could have gotten Kalitas off the board, so I didn't get the zombie either. Ooh, ouch. So it looks like could have been a misstep there, and now my opponent is going wide. I definitely want to get Kalitas back on the board before I languish. Certainly do. And he has nothing in his graveyard. It's all creatures and they were all exiled? Oh my lord. That's a lot of zombies. This is our mythic boy putting in work. It's your boy Kalitas, baby. Your mythic boy Kalitas here for the work. Here we go. Crucial turn here. He has to find a way to get damage through. So he has to tap Kalitas or bounce Kalitas. He has to do something to her. Him, it, whatever. Going ham. What do we want to do? I do not want to put Kalitas in harm's way. So what can I take and where should I block? I guess I take the cruiser and I block here and here. I get blown out by double removal spells, but I still have, but it's my best chance to get something out of the combat. Okay. I was thinking, I didn't go to blocks yet. Oh, he's going for it now. Oh, come on, man. Yep. I was pretty sure you had it, but I'm gonna make the blocks the same way anyway, as it would be pretty nasty to do otherwise. Cub pump. Okay. So now let's go ahead and push. And we lose one zombie. Dryad off the top. Definitely not looking like a board we want to languish very much. We can make another zombie. Then we can get in. Still don't plan to block with Kalitas. So do we want to get in with 2 zombies? There's just so many combat tricks. I think we just want to bring the zombie. Or just the Kalitas, just the zombie master, I suppose. Right, return. Graveyard browse, switch. High Spire, go away. Never know when that Green Warden will show up. Am I right? Make another zombie. Play a gnarlwood. Pass the turn. Just gum this board up. Like I said, this deck is all about the mythics. This game it was Kalitas. Last game it was all about Ishkanah. all about that mythic. If you can keep those two coming back and just have them on the board a good amount of the game, you're in really good shape. Alright, so he's going to try to get some attacks in while Kalitas is in hand. I guess I'll get you off the board now. I don't see anything he can do. No cards in hand. Okay. Down with the cruiser. And we turn on the jets. The zombies can't really attack into the cub, but gnarlwood could. And then I've got 2 zombies and Kalitas facing Lumbering Falls and these 3. Is that worth it? I guess so. Although if he bounces Kalitas, all of a sudden he has much better attacks if he draws away to bounce or tap it. So no, I shouldn't attack. Alright, get out there, buddy. Get out there, Cletus. Cletus, we're gonna bring that back. And let's see what Avocado can do. Do or do not, there is no try. Alright, I'm leaving Evolving Wilds on purpose. Kind of a fatal push thing, or a tireless tracker thing. So where to start? Probably this vessel. See what we find. Ishkanah? Planeswalker of some kind? Hey, that'll do. You come on out, girl. You are welcome here. We don't have any creatures in the yard right now, so she'll be ticking up, but that's just fine. And I'll just reduce the cub. Blossoming Defense, perhaps? Giving me the pause. Could be. Land off the top. Not what the doctor's ordering, that's for sure. Oath of Liliana. Excellent. A little unflavorfully late, but excellent. See what he wants to keep. There is the chance of Gaia's Revenge in this deck, too. We haven't seen it or anything quite like it, but you just don't know, do ya? Alright. Now I think I'm ready to attack. 1, 2, then I have what? 1, 2, 3, facing 1, 2, 3. Am I ready to attack? Maybe not. We'll just send the Lord of the... We'll just send... we'll send a zombie. What you got? You can fire up Lumbering Falls and block with it. Yeah, that's a better play. But now I'll just sack it to Kalitas. It's cool. It was the most likely thing I wanted to do with my mana, anywho. Knock you down a peg. Move. Oh boy. And it's coming at me. What's that mean? You only have 1 pump spell. It's probably a concession. Let's find out. Let's find out. I'm still not willing to put... We block like that, and now if he has High Spire Infusion, I lose there and there, so no. So now what if he has High Spire Infusion? He can't save the Harbinger. If he has Blossoming Defense, that still dies. If he has Blossoming... Okay, so that plays around Blossoming Dispense, but not Infusion. I'll just pull that back. Infusion doesn't kill Kalitas, so I can block like this safely. Yeah. And like this. Okay. All right. And there it is. So he gets the 2 zombies, but they come right back. He's out of gas now. We just have to play around that lumber and falls. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need to get 2 damage through, or he has to chump. So we can go Aftermath. Hit the cruiser. Can split that mana a little better, please. Don't want to use my dual land. There we go. Let you out. Turn him sideways. All right. Whew. Pulled off the best 2 out of 3. It's definitely scary running a deck that's so reliant on a few mythics, like Ishkanah, Kalitas, like I said, but we didn't really see the Planeswalkers doing their thing too much. Those are the other mythics. So let's get Avocado back in here, welcome him back to chat. And Avocado certainly gave me a new respect for Simic Energy Aggro. Not a deck that was on my radar. And certainly, how do I put it? He certainly threw down the gauntlet in game 1 with a thorough smashing of my face. So, made me take notice. Like, what I said is that I don't think that deck is very good, and what I mean by that is I just looking at the cards and without playing a single game and having a completely uninformed opinion, I didn't think it would be very good. So right away he was like, well, now you're down a game. What do you think about that? So bravo. From then on, very much game 2 Ishkanah, game 3 Kalitas. So yeah, if you're in chat or later in comments, let me know if you have any thoughts about the deck, the matchup, Avocado's deck, Green-Black Delirium, or if you think we covered it pretty thoroughly in this video. I certainly had a good time making it. But now it's time for me to get moving along, so I'm just going to walk it back into the deck editor, see if there's any changes that stand out. I don't think so. I think everything showed up in this video the way you'd want it to. The first game where we got smashed, you just, maybe it's an automatic mulligan, right? If you have tap land, and Vessel of Nascency. That's just too slow, I suppose, for this format, right? So there's a lesson to be learned. All right, I'm going to jump off. Thanks a lot to Avocado for the games. Thanks to all of you for watching. Thanks to all of you watching later on video, on demand, and YouTube. And we'll be doing more videos this week, preparing for the upcoming tournaments. Get registered if you want to participate in those. If you don't know what to play, grab one of the decks you see and have at it. All right, I'll see you later.